Hi, this is Alfred Brock with the Wayne Focus, and I'm going to be giving you some information from a pamphlet I picked up from Partners in Healing Psychotherapy.com from Sharon Gold Steinberg, who's a PhD. So let's go over that .com again. Partners in Healing Psychotherapy.com. And we're talking briefly about helping children and families deal with trauma. That's their specialty. So if you want to learn more about helping children and families deal with trauma, please go to partnersinhealingpsychotherapy.com online. If you don't have a computer at home, maybe you can get to it on your cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, you can always go to your local library and access the internet from there. Okay, let's get started and go over this pamphlet. ACEs, adverse childhood events are the single greatest threat to public health, it says on this pamphlet. ACEs increase the risk of heart and lung disease, cancer, mental illness, and early death. That's what it says here about adverse child events. Now, how do ACEs increase risk? How do adverse childhood events increase risk throughout life? Well, stress impacts people's brain development, their immune system, and hormone regulation. It also increases the chance of risky behavior that lead to more physical and mental health risks. So if children are exposed at an early age to parents or family members who are addicted, then they may see that behavior and identify it as somehow normal. That goes for alcoholism, abusive behavior, and all sorts of things like that. So to break the chain is to change behavior. So let's go on with this. So we're going to talk about from conception to death. They got a little pyramid here, okay? And adverse child experiences, the ACEs are down at the base in this triangle. The next level is disrupted brain development, okay? They're in a war zone or they're experiencing some sort of violent activity, then they may have disrupted brain development. The children or the family members can affect you for a long time. If you know anyone who's been in a war zone or some sort of situation like that, you may be able to already identify what I'm talking about. This leads and can lead to social, emotional, and cognitive damage. Health risk behaviors. We talked about addiction and alcoholism. Those are health risk behaviors that can be avoided. But sometimes it's hard if a person is introduced to that, they see it as normal, and they move along through their life and just adapt it to themselves as they get older. Smoking cigarettes, excessive alcohol, any sort of drug use. And this can lead to disease, disability, and social problems, right? So now that if we have this child that we're talking about, or the family member we're talking about, has witnessed all these things, has experienced all these things, and then starts to indulge in these health risks, it starts to behave with these health risk behaviors, starting to use alcohol excessively, starting to use drugs, illegal drugs, illicit drugs that are harmful, and can lead them then onto disease, disability, and social problems, because at that point they're in that event cycle, and they just walk right into it. Is that their fault? Is that a choice that was made, or is that the set of circumstances into which they were born and a natural next step for them to do that? So someone needs to cognitively identify what's going on there to break the cycle, and that can lead to early death. So that's what we have here from helping children and families deal with trauma, from the pamphlet I'm reading about Partners in Healing Psychotherapy.com. Now let's go and take a look at what some of these adverse childhood events may be. These ACEs, what are they? What are they? Oh, physical, verbal, or sexual abuse. Okay, another one is emotional or physical neglect. So that says something that the parents or the family members can address. A parent's divorce or separation, especially if it is filled with anger. Very, very not good for the kid. Very not good for the children. It's got to be a focus on the children. Parents' mental illness or substance abuse themselves, and we discussed this earlier. If it's already there, they're seeing the cycle, they're seeing the behavior, they understand the behavior, they take it upon themselves later on, they don't view it as harmful, And again, they fall into that, or walk right into those circumstances that can lead to disease and sickness and early death. Domestic violence, adverse childhood events, domestic violence, seeing the domestic violence, experiencing domestic violence. And maybe there's a household member in prison, and there's a big deal about it, and there's a lot of impact and pressure, not only from the family, not only from what's going on locally, but perhaps even from the surrounding society, if everybody's aware of that, and then the stamp is placed on the child or other family members, and that's a problem too. That leads to social problems and social distancing, and again, who's left? Then the rest of the social structure there, that is not as well. It gets messed up. Okay, so now how can parents help? All right, now we got to the part where what can we do? How can parents help? And again, we're looking at this pamphlet from the Partners in Healing Psychotherapy.com. Now, how can parents help? Remember, it's not your fault or theirs, says the pamphlet. Brains and nervous systems can heal and be resilient. The brains and nervous systems can heal and be resilient. Now, how do you do that? The suggestions here are limit children's exposure to stress. Limit them to stress. Seek resources and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If you've identified the problem, you're going to work towards solving the problem. Your health, your mental health is very important. Not only to them, but to yourself. That's a big thing that you're going to be doing, and you'll be able to do it. Stay healthy, take care of yourself. Calm your child's brains with routine, predictability, and signs of safety, signals of safety, right? We're going to have breakfast. We're going to have lunch. We're going to have dinner. Let's watch a little TV. Let's read a book together. Let's watch a movie together. Why don't you come along with me in the garden and we'll walk along? All sorts of examples that could happen, Making a normalcy, returning normalcy to the life. Because the children are growing and they benefit from that. So breathe out longer than you breathe in. They're just throwing that one in there, but there we go. There was an example of it. I think I got that. Just reading the pamphlet, I'm already breathing better. Feel the ground under you. Secure your own life. Identify it. Gather your strength so that you can share it and protect the children and family members that you're concerned about. Think about a safe place. So these are all general pieces of information. And you can learn more at partnersinhealingpsychotherapy.com. I will have it at the bottom in the remarks. Please like and subscribe, and we'll get some more videos like this out there. Thank you so much, and have a great day.